How's it going out there, YouTube land and also some social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we'll be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out last week and is a sci-fi action flick that goes 65 million years in the past. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. As always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all those great places. I pretty much post on a regular basis, so definitely check those out. As always, people, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out last week and is a sci-fi action flick that is just fun, entertaining, and I really enjoyed it. And then of course the film called 65. Yeah, 65. Yeah, 65. Ooh. So 65 is a new sci-fi action flick that just came out and is brought, of course, by Sony Pictures and is basically kind of a sci-fi film that takes like a little bit of like supposed history and combines it with a sci-fi element that I just thought was a really cool kind of interesting take on this type of idea. Now, this film happens to be none other directed by a duo of guys, a couple of guys that put this film together. They've done a few other films over the years and are a pretty dynamic duo, that are becoming pretty popular. That, of course, is the directors known as Brian Woods and Scott Beck. Yeah, Brian Woods and Scott Beck. Yeah. So Brian Woods and Scott Beck, like I said, they have directed a few other films. They've done some shorts. They've done some TV shows. They are, been around for a few years now, and this is kind of one of their bigger budget, I would say, films. And from what I've seen of their other films, which I actually haven't watched any of their other films, but I have seen trailers of their previous other films. They seem to have a certain type of great eye for cinematography and for giving you action sequences and giving you good, interesting thought process and, making you think while you're watching the movie. And that's kind of the feeling I get from them from what I've seen in the trailers I've seen of their previous works. Now, of course, there is another film they have directed. I haven't seen it, but I did watch the trailer, and I thought this movie looked really good. I've heard a lot of good things after reading reviews and stuff about it. A lot of people enjoy this film that came out a few years ago. And Scott Beck and Brian Woods directed this film known as, wait for it, Haunt. Yeah, Haunt. Haunt. Yeah, so this came out a few years ago, and I distinctly remember seeing in the movie theaters the poster for this film. I remember seeing the DVD case, the Blu-ray case for this film when it came out on Blu-ray and DVD back in the day. And I just remember I was thinking, this movie looked kind of interesting, but I never got around to watching it. And after reviewing the trailer and reading a little bit more about it, what Scott Beck and Brian Woods did with this film was just a really cool concept and just a really fantastic film. And from the trailer too as well, and reviews, there's a lot of great horror aspects to it, a lot of great action, a lot of great mystery, and it's just a really kind of cool telling of, just like a really kind of like horror clowns almost. And stuff like that, and it just looks like a really interesting film as well. But I've heard a lot of good things. A lot of people enjoy it. A lot of people say it was great, and so I highly recommend checking that film out. If you haven't seen Haunt, definitely give it a whirl to see Scott Beck and the awesome Brian Woods directing ability. I've heard they did a really good job with that film. So when it comes to 65, I thought they did a fantastic job. I love exactly what they did with it. I love how they kept it short, concise, and to the point. I like how it didn't have a whole bunch of storyline that was unnecessary to get to really what the main focus of the film was. And it was just an action-packed sci-fi film that just was really enjoyable. And I thought Scott and Brian did a great job of giving us really great cinematography, giving us really great aspects, really centralizing on a lot of the creatures that were on the planet, and just giving us really good visuals all around and just a really solid, fun sci-fi film that you didn't have to think about it. You enjoyed and you liked, and I liked what they brought to it. If you haven't seen anything that Scott and Brian have put together, definitely go check out 65 in theaters now. They did a really great job. So this movie has a really small cast, not a huge cast. There was actually maybe really 4 main characters in the film. 2 of them really are the main characters we see throughout the whole entire film. And then there's 2 other characters that we briefly see throughout the film as well. But the 2 main characters are really fantastic. They really brought to life these characters and were just really enjoyable in the film. Now to start us off with this awesome, amazing cast is none other than kind of the main hero himself, Mr. Adam Driver! Oh yeah! Adam Driver! Woo! Adam Driver! Yeah! So Adam Driver you might have seen in other films such as like Logan and Lucky. You might have seen him in Marriage Story. You might have seen him If We Were Here and stuff like that, so forth. And he is just a really fantastic actor that I really enjoy. And in pretty much anything I've seen him in, I really enjoy what he brings to the table. And I just really think he has a really great presence to him, and I just really like his acting. And I think he does a really good job of bringing to life different types of genres, from drama to action to sci-fi to, historical and so forth and stuff like that. He just does a really good job of bringing things to life, and I just think he's a really amazing actor. I really enjoy him. Now, another great film you could check him out in if you haven't seen him in anything recently is a great film that came out, or I should say 3 films that came out in the last 10 years, and are sequels in a great, amazing universe of sci-fi films. And that, of course, is the Star Wars sequels! Oh yeah! Star Wars sequels! Woohoo! Star Wars sequels, yeah! So, of course, the Star Wars sequels, which I'm talking about, is Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of the Skywalkers, the 7th, 8th, and 9th Star Wars films. And these films were just so great. I absolutely love his character development of Kylo Ren. I love Kylo Ren. He's like one of my all-time favorite Star Wars characters. I just love where he started out, how he ends up, his redemption. And I thought Adam did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us really solid performances in all 3 films. And I just really enjoyed how he was very similar to, Darth Vader, but at the same time, they made him his own. They didn't just rely on him being so much like Darth Vader, but they gave him a look that was very similar. They gave him, like, a presence. But at the same time, Adam just did a great job of conveying some of those traits of, his grandfather, Anakin Skywalker, but also embellishing on himself, bringing in some of his father, some of his mother, and really was a really great amalgamation of those characters. And I just thought Adam did a great job of bringing that to life and giving us a really solid performance in all 3 films. If you haven't seen any of those films with Adam Driver, definitely check him out. He was really phenomenal, and he did a great job as Kylo Ren. Check him out. He was amazing as Kylo Ren. But it comes to his performance in the awesome 65. I really enjoyed him. There was definitely a few parts where I thought it was interesting how he reacted to certain things. But other than that, I thought he was really good in it. And I really enjoyed his relationship with the young girl that he ends up basically protecting throughout the whole film. I really enjoyed his interactions with her. I enjoyed how he took down different creatures that we see throughout the film. I really enjoyed just how he brought a great presence to his character and showed somebody that, is a father that, did this to help save his daughter, but ended up not. And, basically ends up, getting kind of a redemption by saving this girl's life. And I thought that was really good and really well done by Adam. If you haven't seen Adam in anything lately, definitely go check him out in 65 now. It was a really superb performance. So that brings me to the final actress I will be talking about that was in this film. And that is the girl that ends up playing the young girl that he ends up having along for the adventure with him and who he is to save. And that, of course, is the actress known as Ariana Greenblatt! Oh yeah! Ariana Greenblatt! Woo! Ariana Greenblatt! Yeah! Oh my gosh. Ariana Greenblatt was fantastic in this film. Absolutely loved her in this film. She did a phenomenal job. She was so good. She did a miraculous job of bringing to life this character. And I just really enjoyed how she really brought the presence of, somebody that has a language barrier, being of different ethnicity, having a different language that they speak, And she did such a great job of conveying that through her expressions and her actions and everything she did. It just worked very well, and she did a fantastic job. Really enjoyed her in the film and thought that she just was a really great addition to this film. Now, another movie she was in that I thought she did a good job in, and wasn't a huge part, but it still was a great addition to this film, and that, of course, is the 2020 film called Love and Monsters. Yeah! Love and Monsters. Yeah. She actually plays a hunter in the film, where she goes out and tracks down these creatures that are, these monsters that are in the world in this film. And she plays just a really cool character that's just really enjoyable. She's really kick-ass. She has some really great interactions with some of the other characters, and she just really owned her character in this, and I thought she did a really good job. Definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen anything else that Ariana has been in. Definitely check out her out in Love and Monsters. She actually did a really decent job in it. But I just really enjoyed her in 65. She was so good. I really enjoyed her interactions with Adam Driver. I thought they worked really well together and gave us a solid performance. And just overall, I thought that she just was so much fun and so exciting, and just really brought a new amazing ability of acting to this performance that just made the sci-fi film even better. If you haven't seen Ariana anything, definitely go check her out on 65 now. She did a really great job. So what is 65 about? Basically, the premise story is Adam Driver's character basically goes on a 2-year mission to make extra money and to make enough money to basically get his daughter the health care she needs to be able to be cured of her disease. And while on this journey that he took on for his job to do this for his daughter, he ends up crash landing on a planet and has to basically survive the elements and save this young girl that also survived the crash, make it to the escape pod, and escape this planet. And while they're on there, he ends up finding out that this is planet Earth 65 million years ago. So this movie just was such a cool concept. I mean, supposedly there being human life in other parts of the galaxy before there was life on planet Earth, and that they were like a huge civilization that was very advanced and very technologically advanced, and all this kind of stuff was just such a cool concept. And there was so many great scenes throughout this movie. I mean, that sequence where they hear the noise and they're walking towards the entrance of the cave, and then the Tyrannosaurus Rex is right behind them, was so cool. And then you had a lot of great other action sequences throughout the film. I mean, so many great ones. I mean, the crash sequence was really done well. The interactions and having to kill off the dinosaurs was really cool. And just a lot of the elements in this film were just done so well. And they were so visually pleasing and so visually beautiful. And just overall, I just thought this film was well done. I give this one a giant 10 golden blue boxes up. I really loved it, really enjoyed it. Can't wait to add it to the collection. And definitely worth a watch, I think. So definitely go check it out now in theaters. It's worth the watch. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here or you have before, don't forget to check out the older newer videos about MCBI. And as always, people, if you enjoy my content and want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my links down below, either from my Patreon page, where I get all kinds of extra accoutrement to my awesome patrons that are a part of my Patreon, where you get all kinds of extras such as like bloopers, outtakes, suggestions on what I do next, stuff like that. It's definitely something to look at, people, so definitely check that out. And those people, if you're a huge horror movie buff fan or just love horror movies in general and would love to see a variety of movies to your door every month for a great low price, definitely check out the Horror Pack link, where you can get that to your door every month for a great price. So definitely check that out, too. As always, people, catch you in the next one!